In episode 3 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, titled The Squire, Dunk and Egg stumble across a fortune teller at Ashford Meadow. In what seems like a throwaway moment, quietly drops one of the darkest prophecies in the whole Targaryen history. The seer looks straight at Egg, who we later learn is Aegon, and declares that you shall be the king and die in hot fire, and the worms shall feed on your ashes. It's very, very chilling if you ask me, because fans immediately recognize that this is a direct foreshadowing of the tragedy of Summerhall, where Egg dies in a disastrous flame while trying to hatch dragons using wildfire. What makes it hit harder is the timing. This prophecy drops while Dunk and Egg are enjoying the tournament festivities, laughter, food, and dreams of knighthood, only for the fate to quickly remind us that the sweet, idealistic boy is destined to have one of the most horrific deaths in the whole Targaryen history. Before we go ahead, welcome back to The Plot Twist, where we break down Westeros lore, tragedies, and the hidden prophecies. Make sure that you subscribe for this deep dive as well, and the channel is currently demonetized, so if you like to support my work directly, you can do it through Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the description and the pinned comments. Now let's get back to the video. When a fortune teller in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms looks at this scrappy little boy named Egg and tells him that he becomes the king, it sounds ridiculous if you ask me, because this person isn't an heir. He is probably the youngest son of the whole dynasty, and somehow, against every rule of succession in Westeros, he becomes the king. To understand how Egg ends up on the Iron Throne and why his reign ends in flames, we need to start from one brutal piece of irony, that he was the fourth son of a fourth son. At the top of this family sits King Daeron II, a bookish diplomatic ruler who had many sons. And guess what? Maekar was his fourth son, not the heir, not even the spare, barely even in the conversation itself. Prince Maekar was a warrior-hardened prince, never meant to wear the crown. But Westeros have a habit of killing off expectations. Through wars and sickness and tragedies, Daeron's older sons and their heirs slowly die out, one by one. And suddenly, Maekar, the fourth son, became the king. Already unlikely, but the madness of succession isn't done yet. Maekar had his own sons, and once again, Aegon is his fourth son. No political training, no inheritance plan, no future crown in sight. So insignificant that he is allowed to wander off the realm disguised as a common boy, serving a hedge knight named Dunk. And that's how we meet him in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Barefoot, curious, kind-hearted, and completely out of royal life. And that's why the prophecy feels so absurd. The king? This kid can't even clean his helmet clean. Then the storyline does what it does best. It kills people, and Maekar's older sons die, and then Maekar himself is killed in combat, and suddenly the line of succession collapses like a Jenga tower. The nobles gather in confusion, and after all the chaos, the crown lands on the head of the last surviving male Targaryen, Egg, the fourth son of the fourth son, and the boy who was never raised to rule ends up becoming the king, King Aegon the fifth Targaryen. Aegon, for that matter, actually turns out to be one of the better kings. He cares for common people, he tries to break the noble abuse, he pushes reforms, but there's one thing he becomes obsessed with: dragons, because House Targaryen without dragons is just another royal family. And Aegon believes, truly believes, that if he can bring dragons back, he can restore peace, power, and stability forever. This obsession grows on him with age and eventually leads him to one of the most desperate ideas. At the Summerhall, Aegon gathers dragon eggs, pyromancers, wildfire, sorceress rituals, and members of his own family. The plan? To use fire magic to hatch dragons just like ancient Valyria. But wildfire isn't dragon fire. It's unstable, uncontrollable, and explosive. Something goes horribly wrong. Flames rip through the palace, wildfire detonates, and the castle becomes an inferno. And in the chaos, King Aegon V burns to death. the boy who once slept in stables, die in a firestorm of his own making. Suddenly, this prophecy that we saw in episode 3 makes horribly sense. And you shall be king, true. You die in hot fire, also true. And the worm shall feed on your ashes, because nothing remains of Summerhall but charred ruins and bones. No dragons are born, only death. So this is a sort of a summary of what exactly happened. I will be making a detailed video, event by event video, so that we can understand it even better. Tales in Fire and Blood, Summerhall isn't just a freak accident. It marks the final death of Targaryen dragon dreams, and for that moment forward, the dragon dynasty weakens. The road towards madness, rebellions, and eventual collapse began. Even future kings live in the shadow of Summerhall, a reminder that chasing lost power can destroy everything. And that's what makes Aegon's story so tragic. He wasn't cruel, he wasn't mad at first, but genuinely wanted a better world. Fortune teller wasn't just predicting death, she was warning to his greatest hope would become his doom. The fourth son of a fourth son was never supposed to matter, yet he became king, tries to resurrect dragons, and instead burned his own dynasty. In Westeros, destiny doesn't care how pure your intentions are. It only collects its price. And that's the tragedy of Summerhall, the proof that in Westeros, every time anyone says that I'll fix your problem with fire, the universe say absolutely not. If you enjoyed this royal disaster documentary, hit like before the wildfire finds you too. Share it with your friends and family who think dragons can solve everything. Subscribe to The Plot Twist, where Targaryens make their worst possible decisions. And since the channel is currently demonetized, if you like to support the madness, grab me a coffee through Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the description and pinned comments. Because unlike wildfire, coffee actually fixes problems. See you in the next plot twist, and hopefully with fewer explosions.